Guys, this stack is really heavy today. Here are all the library books I'm going to talk about today. Hey guys, welcome to another library haul. I've been doing these monthly for the last little bit, and every month I'm like, oh yeah, like next month we'll have less books to show because I'm not requesting as many. And then they come in and I'm like, oh, no, I requested more than I thought. So if your library is as awesome as ours, when we get our receipt, which you can either get in paper copy or emailed to you, which is the way I do it, it tells you the value of the books that you've taken out so far this year. And with COVID and everything going on, our library has closed a little bit here and there, even in this last, what are we now, almost a full 5 months into the year. But we have taken out $5,641.08 worth of books. So I love my library. I find it to be a good place to see, like, is this a book we want to purchase? And also just resources to fill in the gaps where we don't own books. So we have a mix here today. There's a book for me, there's some chapter books, there's some picture books, there's some like reference resource books. Let's just start. The first one for me is The Well-Educated Mind. This is by Susan Weisbauer. I have gotten this book out from the library multiple times. So the subtitle is A Guide to the Classical Education You Never Had. I don't really want a classical education, but I want more of an education, and I've been slowly getting one through the years. And then every now and then I get out this book and see what she has to say. I haven't looked at it yet again. I probably have like gotten this book out like 3 or 4 times over the last 5 years. But she does break it down into like, here's a bunch of classic novels you need to read. And that is the part that I want to focus on this time, because I like reading classics in theory, but I don't really like classics. And so I'm going to see what she recommends, see which few I should pick out to try to read in the nearish future. Okay, and then for my daughter I got City Spies, book 2. She read book 1, I think, I don't remember if it was March or April. So we got book 2. I really don't know much about this other than it's a bunch of spies, really, in a city. Okay, and then this book is like for me, but I also think I'm gonna get my daughter to read this one. This is Maybe. It is a free verse novel. I think like Little House on the Prairie, but a little bit darker, like, not darker, but like more realistic and free verse. This was my introduction to free verse novels, and I loved it, and I am so excited to reread it, and I think my daughter would like it as well. Then we have a bunch of the Who Was and What Was books. So Who Was Amelia Earhart, What Was the Underground Railroad, Who Was Leif Erikson, and Who Was Neil Armstrong. I wanted to see, Book Outlet often has a bunch of these for like $2 or $3, and I wanted to see if I wanted to buy some. Plus, I thought we would use some of these in our Explorers unit. So the unit that I talked about in my last video is up in the shop, and we have 10 famous explorers. One of them is Amelia Earhart, and another one is Leif Erikson. So I got these out to kind of like help out with that. And they're cool. There's a lot more words in here than I was expecting, but it does have some pictures as well. But it is more kind of like novel-ish than I was expecting. Then a series that I've been really enjoying from Usborne lately is their 100 Things to Know About. And so I got out the food book and the Saving the Planet book. In the last, I don't know if it was the last library haul or the one before, I shared a couple of these, and my daughter's been loving them. The money one was really good, and I don't even remember which other ones. It's just really cool format with lots of information, set up in a way that's really interesting for kids. Like when my daughter was reading the money one, she was reading about like charities and how they work, and I think like embezzling funds and how, like, what that is, and like it's crazy the stuff that they can learn. So then there's the Saving the Planet, To See the Light. What I do with a lot of these resources for these books that are more like I don't know, like different resources that aren't really applicable to whatever it is we're studying. They're just like interesting books I think my kids would like. What I normally do, I have not done this in the last few months with a baby around, but I like to put out like 2 a day on the coffee table, like pick 2 off the pile or 1 and put them on the coffee table and just leave them and let the kids pick them up. This has not happened lately because the baby can reach the coffee table. But that is generally how I like to do it, and now I need to think of a different place that I can put them that's in their line of sight but out of the baby's reach. Next up we have a couple picture books. This one is The Elephant's Guide to Hide and Seek. This is a fun picture book about how elephants are terrible at hide and seek because of their size, obviously. That's why they're terrible at it. And it gives tips for elephants on how to hide better. Like, instead of being under the blanket, you should be the bed. And it's just a fun little story. I think this must be a new release because I had been looking at picture books that were coming out this year. And I had a few different blog posts saying which ones we were excited about. This one's actually 2020. And then I went and requested a bunch of the books. So this one wasn't one, but one that was is this one. It's called Blanket, Journey to Extreme Coziness, and it's a story about how to make a blanket cocoon and feel safe. I just really like the illustrations. They're like actual pictures of knitting combined with like illustration. So it's just a cute little picture book. And then, I don't know, this is kind of like, not really a picture book, but not really an information book. This is Our World. From Alaska to the Amazon, meet 20 children just like you. And I love the illustrations, the graphics in here. So it just talks about how we're all human. And then it goes into different, there's the map. I always love those kind of maps. These are the different people that they meet along the way. So, oh my goodness, I do not know how to pronounce that. Sundra Bains? I don't know. My name is Nasima. Oh, this is in Bangladesh. So then there's like information about that. There's Beijing. I love geography and teaching my kids about the world, especially since my son's from South Africa. You know, we just love learning about different cultures. Oh my goodness, look at these illustrations. Look at these fish. I love that. So this is a really beautiful book with very interesting information and like beautifully presented. Okay, now most of these are like heavy resource books that are amazing. So someone recommended this one to me because I talked about we have The Way Things Work by David Macaulay, and he has a book called Mammoth Science. He's kind of obsessed with mammoths. If you have read any of his other books, the woolly mammoth is kind of like the sidekick that tells you all the different things. And so this book is all about science, and I guess the mammoth comes along and tells you all about it. All these are awesome. Learning about like solid liquids and gases with woolly mammoths is right up the alley of a boy. Changing states of matter. Yeah, this is really cool. I'm not sure if this will be like just a book that we get from the library or if this ends up being one that we purchase. But I really like his information, his graphics, and the mammoths just make things funny. And yes, he's pooping in this picture. Okay, then I got this epic history of the world, but like Lego. So let's see, like ancient China. You learn about ancient China, and then they've got all these different Lego pictures. I love this dragon. And then there's like the Middle Ages. And my kids, like, they haven't seen this one yet, but I can imagine they're not only going to look at this, read this, but they're also going to try to recreate some of these that are like fairly simple things, but like that is very obviously Japanese, but yet uses pretty basic Lego pieces, or like this. I might actually challenge them. Ooh. I might put this book out one day and then like tab a few pages and challenge them to like make the thing. Maybe not something quite as intense as a ship. Oh, but those camels are cool. Oh, plus this is about the Silk Road, and we just read about Marco Polo and learned about Marco Polo for our Explorers unit. So yeah, this is a fun book. I might do a separate video on how we use this book, because I'm kind of like having a spiral of ideas as I sit here. So I'm gonna put that off to the side and spend some time with that. Okay, now I have more DK Smithsonian books. I'm kind of obsessed. If I could afford to buy all of them, I would. But I think this one would actually be pretty high on my list. This one is really beautiful. This is Trees, Leaves, Flowers, and Seeds, a visual encyclopedia of the plant kingdom. And you guys, this book is like so intense. The illustrations, the information. I know that some people, I feel like generally people are either in the DK camp or the Usborne camp. I feel like I'm in both camps. I really like both resources. And I feel like my daughter kind of relates more to the Usborne stuff, and my son relates more to the, oh my goodness, this is cool, to the DK stuff. Look at these flowering flowers. Yeah, so I don't really know stuff about floral things, so this is going to be interesting. This would be a really good book for like a spring unit. Ooh, what is a cactus? Look at that. I'm kind of totally into this book. Anyway, we're not going to look at every single page. I'll do that on my own later. And then I got another one, the Smithsonian. This is History Year by Year. I thought this might be good for some of our Explorer stuff because it's History Year by Year. So we'll have different explorers in here. Oh, and Jared is also, he's working on a unit right now. A like pretty intensive unit like our Vikings one about ancient Egypt. So this might be good for that as well. So there's that one. Okay, now we're gonna take a slight break from the more information heavy books, and then we're gonna go back into it after this. But this book is probably the top of my like want to own books for our homeschool, and I haven't done it. I haven't bit the bullet because according to the back of this book, the regular price is $50 Canadian, and that's hard to justify. Plus, it's such a big book. I'm going to show it eventually, I promise. But it's such a big book. I often find we have troubles pulling these out. Like, yes, if it's a big resource book, we can put this on the coffee table and like flip through it. But this one, this is Sing a Song of Seasons. So this is a poetry, a nature poem for each day of the year. I love it, but it's so big. Like, I've gotten this book out from the library many times. I might even have it on a different library haul on my channel because I get it out at least once a year, and I love it. I just don't know like how much we would pull this out. We would need to have it in a place where it's so easy to grab. Yeah, so like there's different illustrations and then a couple poems per page. Let's go to May. What day is today? The day that I'm filming this is May 26th. Ooh, first, look at them. Look at the chickens. So today's poem is, ooh, okay, wait, I gotta show you the yesterday's. So yesterday, like, had one poem for 2 pages. And this is today's, ooh. So there's poems by like so many different people. Oh, the 29th is A Bird Came Down the Walk by Emily Dickinson, who's one of my favorite poets. I'm gonna flip back to the 21st. That was my birthday, May 21st, and the poem is Yellow Weed. So it is about a dandelion. Actually, there's multiple days about dandelions. So yeah, let's see. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I haven't bought this book yet. Oh, this is the cover. Can you guys please try to convince me in the comments to buy this book? Because I'm like, I really want it. And I think it's cool. I love like naturey stuff. I love poetry. This is like the perfect combination. I just need to like actually do it. Okay, back to like the resource reference books. This is kind of like a series here. So this is the Where on Earth Atlas. These books we've also gotten out multiple times from the library. So like here, this is like countries and borders in Africa. So it's broken up into sections. This is the Africa section. Let's see, what's in Europe? This is, well, this is all about the Alps. Ooh, famous landmarks. This is cool. I would love to do a Europe trip with my kids. I've seen Edinburgh Castle, I've seen Stonehenge, I've seen Big Ben. Myself, my kids haven't seen any of them. And like, I would like to go to pretty much all of these places. Actually, you know what is really high on my list? Oh, and it's not even on here. Oh yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it, but the Croatian palace here. I used to follow some. That is my kids jumping around upstairs. I promise it wasn't like a hurricane. Anyway, I used to follow someone online that stayed in the walls of the palace. So like in the walls was like housing, and there was like an Airbnb there. And ever since then, I've had that on my list of like things I want to do. So that was the Where on Earth Atlas. And then there's also Where on Earth. My kids prefer this book. They have pored over it. So it's like, here's a map of the world. And these are predators. And I think these are like the, what is this? Found on every continent and every ocean. Predators are animals that kill and eat other creatures. So what is this though? So I guess these are just some of the top predators in different areas. I did not know the wolverine would make this list, or the coyote, the piranha. This is really cool. What else do they have? Insects. Thankfully I live in an area where it's too cold for there to be a whole lot for insects. I know this one somewhere has a page that, oh, these are castles. Has volcanoes. I don't remember if it was this book. It's one of these. It was either the other one, this one, or the one coming up. And it has like a map of where all the volcanoes are in the world. And that was when my son decided he's never going to Hawaii because there's a volcano there and he doesn't want to go there. But he also doesn't realize like there's a volcano not that far from here. Oh, there it is. I saw it. There's also a map about earthquakes. Okay, here's the earthquakes one. We are safe from earthquakes where we live. But where's the volcanoes? Yeah, here's the volcanoes one. And then the other page I was going to show is this one. This is plagues, or pandemics, I mean. Maybe they need to update this book now. Okay, that was Where on Earth, and then there's When on Earth. So this is like a historical, not like a timeline, but it's maps, historical maps. Oh, here's one on the Vikings. So yeah, like if I had endless amounts of money, I would buy both of these for sure, probably also the Atlas. But because I don't, we get these ones from the library on a regular basis. Okay, and the very last book I have to share is this History Atlas. This was a new takeout for me. I'd never taken it out before, and this one grabbed my daughter's attention. She really likes the illustrated stuff more, which is why she kind of gravitates towards Usborne books, and then my son likes like pictures and real life, which is why he prefers DK. So this is just different areas and time periods of the world and their history. So this is the Mesopotamian world. And here's the Egyptian world. My daughter was just pulling this out the other day. There's like all sorts of information. And she was telling me all sorts of different things in history that she had learned from this book already. There's like a whole page on the pyramid. Oh, and I see on the back here, this must be like the same company. There's a myth atlas. So I know what I'm going to be requesting from the library next. Yeah, and it just keeps going, like all sorts of, this is the Persian world, Inca, European, Ethiopian, American, Russian. I don't know. I thought this was very unique, and I'm going to see what else they have other than Myth Atlas and check a few more of these out. Okay, so that is our library haul for the month of May. Let me know what you've been requesting from the library lately. I have a feeling that some of you probably recommended these books, but I request so many, I don't always remember where I heard about them. So yeah, let me know also if there's anything you think that we should check out from the library for next month, anything that you think we'll enjoy. And thanks for watching, guys.